Hi guys, it's Phoebe. Welcome back to my channel. You will notice I'm going to be filming all these videos back to back because we are knocking this stuff out. Right now I wanted to sit down and film a kind of a quick little video where I talk about the books that I rated 5 stars in 2020. I was trying to make a little bit of more of a positive. This video is going to be very me because it's me trying to be positive and talk about the books that I rated 5 stars, but also some of these books I feel like are not truly 5-star reads, so that's what we're going to be discussing. I considered making a video that was like worst reads of 2020, but I don't really want to do that this year, just because I feel like I rant enough about all the books that I didn't like right after I read them and it's fresh in my mind. So I feel like it wouldn't make a really great video for me to rant months later because I wouldn't remember all of the things that frustrated me about those books. But these books that I rated 5 stars, I'm hoping we can go back and I can take a good look and see what I actually enjoyed and books that weren't actually 5 stars for me. So let's jump right into it. This is going to be, it should be like in the order that I read them during the year. So the first book that I rated 5 stars in 2020 was Cantorus. Please don't say anything about my accent. Like, it's gonna be so bad if I try to do a Spanish accent. But who is it by? Caroline de Robertis or something? It's somewhere behind me on these bookshelves. But that was a book about, is it 5? I want to say it's 5 gay women in, is it Paraguay? In like the 70s. I'm like reaching back trying to remember because I literally just like went through my Goodreads and wrote down the books that I rated 5 stars. Didn't pull them off the shelves or prepare for this video in any way. But that book, I would still say rated 5 stars. Really beautiful book about female friendships and female romances. And I just liked it a lot. It was really heavy, but also really good. The next book that I read in 2020 and rated 5 stars was Starflight, which is also behind me somewhere. I forget who it's by. I would say that book for me would still be a 5-star read. I really enjoyed it. It was really action-packed. The characters were fun and relatable and believable. Yeah, I would probably enjoy a reread of that book. The next book that I rated 5 stars was The Great Alone by Kristen Hanna, my favorite author and my favorite book. That is definitely still a 5-star read. I still rave about that book any chance that I get. That's another book that I would really like to reread. The next book that I rated 5 stars was The Silent Patient. Ooh, The Silent Patient probably to me is not really a 5-star read. I hate that I feel like I was pressured into rating it 5 stars on Goodreads because all of my friends at work have read The Silent Patient. They've all loved it, rated it 5 stars. And I will say The Silent Patient I thought was a good book. But at the end of the day, I don't know if it was really a 5-star read. It's not because I mean, it's a thriller. I feel like to me, the books that I rate 5 stars have characters and stories that I relate to, that really resonate with me. And The Silent Patient is a thriller, and thrillers don't really do that for me. And I just feel like I've read more exciting thrillers. I feel like on this list there's going to be other thrillers that were more thrilling. So I don't know if The Silent Patient is really 5 stars, maybe 4.5. I just don't know if for me personally it was worth all the hype. The next book that I rated 5 stars was True Colors, also by Kristen Hanna. I would say that book is probably truly a 5-star read. I loved the characters. I loved the story. I loved how her characters were believable and that they were flawed. I feel like a lot of people critiqued the book and were like, the sisters were so annoying. And it's like, yes, people are annoying. People have flaws. People make choices that you don't agree with. Like, that's what makes us human. And I think that's what made it like such a good book, because even though they were the main characters, they weren't flawless. They made stupid decisions. They were annoying to each other. And so I really liked that. The next book was also a Kristen Hanna book, The Nightingale. Also still a 5-star read. Loved it. Made me cry. Amazing. The next book that I rated 5 stars was also a Kristen Hanna book, The Things We Do for Love. That book is not a 5-star read. Maybe a 3 or a 4-star read would be more accurate. That one just didn't have, I feel like the other Kristen Hanna books that I rate so highly have more broad, sweeping storylines, have more to say about familial love. And The Things We Do for Love didn't have as, it was one of her newer books. It didn't have like the subtle hand that she has in her later work. I don't even really remember what that one was about. I want to say that it's about a woman who like hasn't married, or like her marriage has fallen apart, and there's a girl who like has a mom that's neglectful, and they end up forming some kind of like mother-daughter bond. It's like kind of cheesy. It's just not a 5-star read. The next couple of books that I rated 5 stars were Carrie Fisher memoirs, Wishful Drinking, and The Princess Diarist. I don't know if those are really 5-star reads. They were really good. They were really funny. They were fun to read. But at the end of the day, I don't know if that makes them a 5-star book. I'm not going to change any of these ratings on Goodreads because I'm simply too lazy to go back and do that. But I'm on the fence about rating those 2 books 5 stars, technically. The next book on the list is The Whisper Man by someone. That book I would say still 5 stars because I remember loving the true crime, paranormal, thriller aspects of that book. Really had a good time reading it. Next is Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo, which I feel like was a controversial 5-star rating because I feel like some people were like, I love it, 5 stars, blah, because they like love Leigh Bardugo, and I don't really care about Leigh Bardugo. And then some people who read it were like, didn't really care about it, even if they do really like Leigh Bardugo. And for me, now looking back, I can't remember what happens in that book, and that's something for me that truly stands out as like a 5-star book. Is like I could still sit down and relate to you like months later the story, and I can remember some broad strokes about Ninth House, but I could not sit down and tell you the plot of Ninth House. And so to me, that makes it definitely a 3 or 4-star read, just that it didn't stick with me. The next book is Fireborn. Fireborn, I would have to say, really loved it. Really original concept. Probably a 4-star read at the end of the day, because again, not one that super stuck with me. Did love the dragons, did love the political commentary that it made, but I don't know if it reaches all the way to 5 stars. The last book on the list is The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by V.E. Schwab. Definitely a 5-star read. Probably one of my favorite books of all time, right up there with The Great Alone. Cannot speak highly enough about that book. I don't even know what else to say about it at this point. How can you not like that? How can you not like The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue? All right, I hope that was at least a little enjoyable. It was kind of fun for me to go back and review all the books that I read in 2020 and which ones I loved and which ones I didn't love so much. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Bye!